Welcome back to Blender for Blogs. This is part 2 of our screen capture tutorial, and I'm picking up right where I left off last time, where I stopped OBS Studio so that I can import what I have already recorded of my screen and put it in here. And what we're going to do is basically cut our B-roll footage that we took to match our audio. All right, I'm back and I'm in my output folder, 30 screen capture, and you can see my naming convention as well as the date and time of this recording right now, which is probably going to be different when you watch it. It'll be a little bit later or much later, depending on when I get it out there. But I also copied one of them and did B-roll capture here. So what I'm going to do is come back here to Blender, and we're on a video shrink, but what I actually noticed is that I edited this differently than I edited my Blend 3. So you can see this is a little bit longer here. And the original edit in my last video when we talked about our video shrink is a little bit shorter. So what I did is actually, because I want to use the Blend 3, what I did is had to come back over here and render out this video and replace, remember I had the meta strip here, so I rendered out this portion and replaced it here. So that's why it looks just a little bit different. So this is what we just got done doing, the shrinking, and then right after that, actually I think it's going to be butted up right here. So I'm just going to page up, and then we're going to add in our video file right here. So Shift A, movie, and go to my screen capture, and here's my B-roll. And of course, we're gonna grab this, move that up. Same with this one. Actually, you know what? I don't need the sound here, so I'm just gonna delete the sound because since this is just B-roll footage, and you see it's a long capture here. So what I want to do is find the place where I actually start showing what was the first one was going to be the Google Slides. So I'm going to end this here so we can look at this. We're just going to try to find, okay, so here it is. So Google Slides starts somewhere around here. It doesn't have to be too accurate right now. And then that lasts until, because then we do Pixabay right after that. Okay, so I'm going to cut that out around here. I'm just doing a rough cut here. So this is where let's see, where I wanted to add in our sound. So yeah, something like right about here. And then that ends pretty quickly. Right about here, we'll just say right there. And then our cutting and snapping and moving, all of that stuff starts right about here. So snap that there. And that goes on for way too long because I was just rambling, kind of like I'm doing right now. Yeah, it's going to be right around the end there. Okay, so what I'm going to do is place this here, backspace, backspace. There we go. Put those together. And we're going to, actually, you know what? I only need this one here. So I'm going to bring this over here and zoom in. I'm not going to butt it up all the way here because I'm going to put something here for an animation to begin with. So let's do that right about there. And I just want to cut this here to match what I'm saying. So basically,
or your favorite software programs, like Blender.
Okay, so it's going to be a much sooner here. So bring this over here.
What you're doing on your computer step by step. So for this, you'll learn how to record your computer screen and then add it into Blender. And this is really handy for things like PowerPoint presentations.
So when I say PowerPoint presentations, I want to start selecting these here, and you can kind of see what's happening here. So now I could find it here by doing this, just scrolling through like that. And that's probably what I'll end up doing here a little bit. Actually, yeah, that is. But another way you can do it actually is if you keep this here with your strip selected, if you hit S, you can see over on the sides here the offset. But basically, if I move my mouse left or right, you can see it's changing that strip. And I may have gone over this before, but I'll show you kind of what's happening there. If I can, with one of these, bring this up. If I hit S, you can see it's sliding the endpoints. It just shows the offsets, and then it keeps the strip in place and it slides the offsets. But I think I may have gone over that in one of my earlier videos. Anyway, back over here. Let's just do this the kind of the conventional way here. I may want to add that open slides, and well, let's do, yeah, let's bring it right about here and move that in. Let's just extend that out just a little bit, and then when I say PowerPoint presentation, I'm just gonna cut this, and then maybe right here. Oh yeah. So I'll do this here like that.
And this is really handy for things like PowerPoint presentations, Google searches, or making all kinds of tutorials for you.
Nah, yes, I want to have this pop up sooner.
Handy for things like PowerPoint presentations, Google searches, or
and then here, this is what I want, the Google search, so, or actually it's the Pixabay search. So Pixabay is gonna be right here. So cut that way down here. And so I don't know if you can see what I'm doing, but basically I'm just putting B-roll snapshots here of what I'm talking about. So PowerPoint presentations, Google searches, even though it's not technically Google search, I'm searching Pixabay.
To Blender. And this is really handy for things like PowerPoint presentations, Google searches, or making all kinds of tutorials.
Yeah, so here.
All kinds of tutorials for you.
And then right when it loads all of them, I'm going to cut right away here to when I'm starting to scroll down. And I apologize if this is tedious, but yeah, so then I start scrolling down right here.
All kinds of tutorials for your favorite. All kinds of tutorials.
And then I click that right there. But I don't necessarily click it right there, but I'm going to cut to as if I was clicking on that. And then it takes me to here. Right. And we'll just do like that.
For your favorite software programs.
And I'm gonna probably have to adjust this. I'm just gonna move these. Just gonna move all of these up this way. Nope, not that far.
It's exactly what you're doing on your computer step by step. So for this, you'll learn how to record your computer screen and then add it into Blender. And this is really handy for things like PowerPoint presentations, Google searches, or making all kinds of tutorials for your favorite software programs.
Okay, actually, I'm gonna move these back just a little bit.
For your favorite software programs.
Let's just do cut or
software programs. Like Blender.
Right there. Okay. Yeah, that's good. Like that.
Step by step. So for this, you'll learn how to record your computer screen.
Okay, so what I want is right here to do a little animation, but I want it to have the OBS software over Blender, just to kind of have that effect where it's obvious that I'm using a screen capture to capture Blender. So I think I need to add in another movie here, which I think it was this one here. Get rid of this audio, don't need that. And I need to find where I have both OBS Studio and somewhere, here we go. So something like this. And then I just need like, I don't know, we'll just do plus 100 frames and then cut and get rid of the rest of that. Okay, so then this, I can come over here. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is do a little bit of a transition here. So I'm going to do a wipe transition, but in a different way. So as this is coming down, I want this to also go down. So they're going down at the same time. That's how I had it in the original one. But before I do that, I need to actually take this chunk basically out here and put this chunk from top to bottom into a meta strip, because I'm going to change the whole screen. Everything that's on the screen I want to go down at the same time. So go over here, page up, select, just shift. I'm just going to select this one and then shift select this, and this, and this, and this, and this, and this, and this. Just select all of those. I'm going to hit K here. Then I'm going to go to the end. I'm going to hit K here. And then I'm going to do Control G to meta strip. And just drag that up to here. Okay, so now we can practice the timing. Actually, I'm going to control up like that. Okay, practice the timing by putting in a wipe. So select this one, shift select this one, shift A, effect strip, and wipe. Okay, and make sure this wipe is overdrop, and you can see the effect that that's having there. So as we cache that in here, and that may be too much information that it's trying to calculate for my computer to even see. Yeah. Those meta strips, man, they don't have they have so much information. Blender doesn't, on my computer at least, Blender doesn't do very well with them. But we can kind of see, let's see, it's 22, so that's about 1 second. So it's like, you know, I suppose that could be good. I wonder if I hide this one.
Show your audience exactly what you're doing on your
computer.
computer.
Interesting. Okay. Let's hide that. Let's hide this. Ah, there we go. Hey, look at that. Got rid of the information, and we still have it up here. So that's a little too slow, actually. So what I'm going to do is grab this and just move it in to, what's the length? Length is 15 there.
And show your audience.
Yeah, let's refresh sequencer.
And show your audience exactly. And show your audience.
Come on. You're working so well. What happened?
And show your audience exactly what.
No. Blender. Okay. Select all. Hide. Select this one. Unhide. Refresh sequencer. What's going on? No. I think that's good. Oh, finally got it all cached in there. Okay, I think that's good. That's good speed right there. Good night. Okay, I'm going to save it and save another iteration. Unhide. And delete that wipe. Okay, because I want to do an animation. So page down. And I want to add in a transform to that. so that we can move this on our Y. Now it goes by percentage. I can do pixels as well if I wanted to, but percent's fine. And on the Y, this is actually going to start all the way at the top. So I'm going to do 100% all the way at the top. You can see that's coming down from the top there. Of course, we'll overdrop and then hit I for the keyframe there, and then page up, and here it should be fully down. So 0%, I, boom, there we go, and there we go, and then that comes down like that. But I'll show you what I did last time. Basically, what I did last time is here I had this one, so you have everything that's below here in a meta strip because the whole thing is going down. Now, technically, I probably don't need some of these, like this background and this background, which let's actually, just to get rid of that information, go in here. I'm just tabbing in here. I don't need this background and I don't need this background because they are not showing. So I can just get rid of those. So that background is showing, and that's fine. So everything else is showing. So tab out of that. And now page up. So we're going to start here with our transform. So move these up just a bit so we can add in our transform for this one, and then just hide that transform. We can select overdrop, but replace is fine because it's not going to be overlapping on anything. On the Y, we're going to actually start it here. So I, and then page up, -100. So that's all the way down, hit I. There we go. So now if we did this right, they're moving at the same time. So it's just like that. So you can do it however you want. Again, actually, since I've done the work, I'm just going to keep it like this. But I do kind of like, if I hide that, I do kind of just like it kind of sliding over like that. That's pretty cool. And that's going a lot faster now that I got rid of those background. Maybe it has something to do with the background here. Maybe I just need to remove some of the stuff down here that I'm not using, and clean it up that way, which I haven't done. Anyway, okay. So that is a long, tedious journey to get to here, just to show you all of that. But you can do it however you want. And then I'm just going to take this and drag that here. So it's just going to cut right to that.
Computer step by step. So for this,
that's
you'll
perfect.
learn how to record your computer screen and then add it into Blender. And this is really handy for things like PowerPoint presentations, Google searches, or making all kinds of tutorials for your favorite software programs, like Blender.
Okay, so now we are getting rid of the chalkboard. So right here, page down, this is our chalkboard. Oh, page down. K to cut, and then delete that side of it. So and then we have this. But what I can do is get rid of that down here. So now it's not processing all of this stuff down here either. And like I said, I'm probably going to do the same thing with the rest of this back here. So let's save it so we don't lose our information. Get rid of those. Don't need those down there. Okay, so let's get some of our other cuts in here going. Okay, so I'm going to speed things up here a little bit while I do this. I don't normally like doing the time-lapse thing here, but it's basically just the same thing that I was doing before. I'm just cutting the B-roll footage to match it to the audio. And it's just really time-consuming, and you don't have to cut it the exact same way I'm doing. Anyway, you can do it however you want. But I showed you how to do it for the screencast, the first one we did, where it was Google Slides and doing a Pixabay search. And this one is just the footage that I showed of the audio, me cutting the audio and lining that up, and then me cutting and slicing and dicing and all of that stuff to show the video editing. So just cutting all of that together exactly how I want it to match up with what I'm saying. Okay, so look, we are almost done, and I know that was really super tedious. But like I said, that is going to be the last real big tedious thing. I think we're going to have maybe 3 more tutorials. One just to finish this up to add the pictures, another one to do the outtakes, and then another one to talk about rendering, and then we'd be done with this tutorial series. Woohoo! Okay, anyway, I'm going to go probably get some rest now because it's been a long day of recording. So anyway, I hope that's helpful. I hope it wasn't too confusing. Please let me know if you have any questions in the comments below, and you will see me in the next one. So happy editing. Until then.